Well, look what I bought yesterday. Do a review on it because I'm not going to keep it that long. I have a buddy of mine wants to buy it. But while we have it, this is a 1990 Buick Reatta. It only made about 20,000, so it's a pretty rare car. Being said, there's a lot of content on this on YouTube. But have you all ever seen a fucked up one? That's the question. Hood won't open. Well, it might, but I haven't tried. I don't want to figure out and find out. Dent in the front. AC and radio do not work. And it's just some interior problems too. But here it is. Very rare car, only 120,000 miles. It has the digital cluster, but not the infotainment screen. As you can see, the tires are getting a little bald there, but you know, it happens. Yeah, I picked this thing up for $1,000. I didn't think I'd ever own a Buick Reatta, but here we are. Very cool 1980s car. Reminds me of a Porsche 944 or a Ford Probe, depending on which one I think it looks more like. Let's get into it. This one is powered by the Buick 3800 tan interior and the very common red exterior. I do love the way this thing looks. That is a beautiful looking car. Early 90s GM, so you have all this stuff. But what's cool is it's kind of like a Mercedes. So this controls the seat, raises and lowers. They don't work that well, but they kind of work. So, you know. Door handles right here, locks, grab handle. I don't know what went here, but it's missing on both sides. Behind the seat, you have storage and you can access the trunk. But it looks very well presented when it's up, so very nice wraparound. Shockingly, doesn't have rear seats, but you know, hey, it's GM for you. Also, it has a remote, so it doesn't work, but you know, whatever. Inside, we have a nice cabin. A lot of passenger seat room, shockingly, as well as two little storage cubbies and a nice 1980s push light. Also very nice sun visors with the extension right there. Headlight controls are right here, as well as parking lights. There's a dim it. Then the twilight centennial lights that are very common in this era Cadillac. Climate controls right here, radios right here. Storage there. Pretty deep too. Ashtray, as is very common with these cars, as well as a very nice plush center console. And to be honest, it's a pretty nice interior for an 80s American car. Look at Fords this era. I've had a Fox body and a Dodge Diplomat, and they are rough. Right here you have trunk release and fuel door, as well as the original owner's manual for the Buick Reatta. It looks like that. And two cup holders, but they're kind of useless. But no, I really do like this car. Also have parking release right here. I hope that was not on the whole time. Oh well. Yikes. And then hood release is right here. Let's see if it opens. Oh, it might. But it's kind of stuck, to be honest with you. But no, the paint is very presentable. It's fairly rough Reatta. To be fair though, I think half more rough and half more nice. But compared to the 116, the paint is beautiful. It's painter's number, but you know, it is what it is. But it looks like it was resprayed at some point, judging by the overspray the VIN number. And let's take this Buick for a drive and see what it's like to drive a 1990 Buick. Also, you'll see here in a second the very famous digital dash. I'll take it on a short drive. No warning lights, shockingly, but the oil pressure is concerning. It actually goes up when you start getting the gas, like right there. Let's turn this puppy, and let's take it on a very short drive, just because I don't really have insurance on this thing. I did just buy it yesterday, so I'm probably good. Let's go this way. Oh, it's kind of closed. This is powered by the 4-speed transmission, probably the same as the ones in the Corvettes of this era, good old-fashioned Buick 3800, very reliable engine. But it drives pretty smooth. I mean, I actually like this car quite a bit. I do like my 80s cars, and to be honest, the interior on this thing for an 80s car is pretty nice. Like, very plush. It doesn't feel very bad to be in here. The headliner is still nice. I guess this was Buick's Halo car, but compare this to an early 90s Skylark, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This was not the worst thing in the world. Yes, it's a creak and rattle 100%, but it's also a 40-year-old car. that was obviously not well treated for the last 40 years. So I'm not gonna rag on it too much. I think it held up pretty nice, and it's a very presentable looking car. It was the equivalent of $60,000 today's money, but still a presentable car. And I drove it over 100 miles home. The gas just did not do that. It's because it's far away on the camera, but it still works very well. It does make some very concerning sounds, I'm not gonna lie, from suspension, but you know, as is the case with most of these early 90s Buick car or GM cars, it's gonna have some problems. I think it's just CD axles though. But yeah, I honestly enjoyed this car quite a bit. I would probably own another one that's a lot nicer. Granted, I can find one because they are fairly rare. We're just gonna park this puppy in the back because my neighbors kind of complain that I have like 50,000 cars up front. I'll just park it. Let's see. Off-roading a Buick Reatta. Don't think no one's ever seen this on YouTube. Let's park right here for now. And that's one of the problems too with this car is it's so sticky. But no, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this car. This is a fun little car. No AC is kind of a pain in Texas. We're in September, but still in the 90s. But no, it's a very nice little car. I would recommend buying one of these because they're just cool. I mean, for the price, you can get a nice one for like $3 grand, and you have some pretty nice looks in this thing. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed watching this, and I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna review that 221 S-Class. I'm putting my stretch on the back here, so that's why I was kind of like clearing some space for it. But yeah, catch y'all later. Peace.